$5 game of Counter-Strike, James. That could cause all sorts of issues. That's going to put so much pressure on these players, and we're ready to get into it. VP with 3 sets of utility as they start on the T side.
Yeah, don't worry, there are 10 players on the server. Quick reset of the HUD will fix that. A lot of utility for Virtus.pro on his T side. Ironically, it was the old Virtus.pro trying to reinvent themselves, who would often have 3 players with grenades on their pistol rounds, but not always have the success they were looking for. Maybe the new team under this brand could change that. Smokes will be deployed towards B. Still have some in the hole, but it seems double mollies are going in as well, so it will be an Inferno on the B bomb site, and in they go.
Ooh, Sanji getting that first kill with the pistol. Yakindar with one of his own. They're onto the B bomb site. Mantu's been able to find Buster though, so banana control at least is here for OG. The spam through, so close to getting a kill onto Yakindar, but it's still the man advantage for Virtus.pro, and OG are still stuck behind this smoke.
The boost. Oh, they found Yakindar by the coffins. That's a big pickup. 3-on-3 now as they push, and they've got to go fast. I don't see a kit on these players, but there might be one on the site. And indeed, NBK's collected it, delivers a headshot as well. The numbers are falling now for Virtus.pro. Kika and Jame remain, but speaking of numbers falling, NBK 1 versus 2, he's got to draw them out, but there's no need for them to both peek, play the bomb, and it's too late for NBK. Just trying to build some bonus money now, going for the knife, but he won't get anywhere close to them. Tagging and fragging from VP, they take the pistol.
Good start for Virtus.pro. They just won Train in dominant fashion. Now they win the pistol on Inferno. OG need to make sure they don't let this capitulate like they did over on Train. They can't let this game get out of control, but they're going to force into this second round. They're not going to try and play the economy game. They're willing to try and fight for this one, maybe because they know that all the VP players died to the bomb in that last round. So it has to be the full reinvestment from VP, and even then, they only have 1 AK in this one.
The charge, the surge from the CTs will not pay off because Virtus.pro have Yakindar. Often is a problem if you're the opponent. Kika is in an awkward spot with the Glock out. The Buster will help him. But this is such a violent round. NBK was the scout. I always talk about it. He's very capable. But he may have to shoot for a smoke now. He has a HE, so for that default plant, he could go for the bounce. There it is. There it goes. And he's halfway there. Can't quite find the right angle. Not just yet. But this is weirdly doable, and Buster may have to play off of Kika, although Kika's with the Mac 10, so it's awkward for all concerned. NBK doesn't know the positions of these players, however. Repositioning now. Oh, jumping Mac 10. Great timing from Kika. Close range as well. And that will stop the aggression from OG for now.
Has to be a save for OG in this round, but I wouldn't mind them investing very little here. I think get those nades out early. You need those nades to fight for Banana. You want to be able to have the money for the AWP as well. I'd rather just see OG focus on getting a full gun round in this next than try to damage VP's economy in this one. And it looks like OG agree with me. They want to stay on top of that economy game. They've invested very little into this round. I think that's a good approach, James. You don't want to lose a grand final, 3rd map decider by just losing on your economy. You'd rather make sure you get those gun rounds, even if that means you're not going to be able to have the chances to do as much damage in this one.
Got to focus on the long game. It's all well and good doing a little damage here and there, but really, you want to put your money into the main events, the buy rounds, the full buy rounds. NBK, Issa, and Mantu all on the B bomb site. Issa hiding by the fountain. Can be an awkward spot to identify sometimes. Just about being spotted though. It turns into a double peek, but again, they're ready Virtus.pro. They've seen 2 of the remaining 3 players. They've still got Sanji on T ramp. Now 3 of them are heavily tagged. I think the most lethal thing for them here could be hesitation. They will move together towards the A bomb site while Yakindar plays containment. So OG will be coming into their buy round soon enough. We've seen some good things from both snipers in this series thus far. From Mirage to Train. I think Mantu needs to come back with a vengeance here on Inferno. Starting on the CT side, he will have the chance to do that.
Absolutely. He is currently the man with the least money on the team, though. So I am curious as to whether it will be Issa dropping that AWP for him or exactly how that goes. Either way, here on Inferno, James, the man I am looking out for is absolutely Valda. This is Valda's best map statistically. He is so good on that banana position on both sides of the map. The last time these two teams played Inferno in the group stage, Valda dropped 31 kills. He went 31 for 15. This is really a map where he is brilliant, and it is in big part thanks to the way he plays with Alexi B on banana. I think Alexi oftentimes is alongside him, making sure Valda can make the most of that position. Let's see how it goes for them at the start of this one, because it is a 4-man B stack for OG.
It's going to be an aggressive start to banana. Grenades from both sides. That's a costly HE on both ends, actually.
Ouch.
Issa barely alive at this point. It's a very risky jump from Yakinda. Completely exposed. Someone said I think he dies a lot of the time.
Oh.
Valde finding something through the smoke as well. So it's been a painful exchange for Virtus Pro for the most part. They've lost a player. Kikut's used to being on about 20 HP when he's playing T-side Inferno, but Yakinda's on 10.
And this is the issue for VP. I think their T side is massively predicated upon getting that banana control to begin with. Normally, Kicker and Buster are brilliant at getting banana for the team, and then that's when they play their best game. But Mantu misses a shot. He's a little lucky to get away with his life there, and there are so many players low on health right now, James. One shot can make all the difference either way. One nade can make all the difference, but all the nades are gone except for Alexi B. In comes the smoke towards long. Virtus Pro, though, remaining undecided with 50 seconds remaining.
Yeah, how best to implement your players when two of them are one bullet from doom. Jane with the dry peaks now. A swing on banana. Now, with nothing seen, if there's a world where OG only have one player on B and they get traded, that might be enough to have the rest of them saved because they're out of position.
Valda still has a smoke, though, on the CT side. That's going to slow VP down so much on B.
Well, they're offering presence on both bomb sites. Mantu, the LWP shot as well. And indeed, I can see a save in the future of Virtus Pro. My crystal ball tells me that this may be the best decision for them. Indeed, that phrase, throwing good money after bad, I think applies here for Virtus Pro. Had a go towards B, didn't work out. Such is life. Things just didn't go their way, and OG get their first round on the board here on the CT side.
I think both of these teams throughout this tournament have showed us that they are two of the best teams at game planning for their opponents, at prepping for their opponents. VP are a team that have 3 players that watch demos of their opponents. Kicker, Jame, and Yakinda all watch their opponents' demos, all watch their opponents' spots to try and figure out the best way to approach them. And over on the OG side, Alexi B is so good at pinpointing the exact weakness of the opponent. I think that gun round to begin with just shows that, because he completely counters the early banana take in the first gun round. This time, though, VP have found success taking banana, and they haven't even taken much nade damage in the process, James. This is a much better start to the round for Virtus Pro.
Retake utility from OG to ward off the Virtus Pro players on banana. And Mantu's making his way. Well, he's back and forth. A bit undecided on where he wants to go. NBK will look to delay with utility. It's always good timing to put an incendiary in the boiler or in mid just to separate a potential push. But it will come eventually. So he's bought some extra time here with that incendiary NBK. We can see Virtus Pro trying to get their skates on. Oh, they're lining up for NBK, looking for 3 of them and a bomb as well. Great position for the rest of the team, despite Issa being lost. NBK with 4, running out of bullets. Jame with 12 HP, he's out of here.
The natural born killer living up to his name in this round. My, oh my, he gets 3 kills on the spray down, and if that doesn't happen, that can be a completely different round, because OG only had 2 players on the A side of the map, and even though there was a rotate arriving, VP had already put down smokes towards the long position, so anyone arriving from CT wasn't going to have too many chances to take fights. So the fact that MBK steps up like that to hold the A site, that is exactly what I want to be seeing, because now VP have really got to second guess if there is any weak spot on the map. It doesn't really look like it right now. OG have been really pressuring banana at the start of these rounds, always putting a lot of players there, and then VP try and counter by going A, but MBK's having none of it.
Left to hide with the chicken in the kitchen. That lineup was so sublime for NBK. One behind another, behind another. Exactly what OG needed. 2 timeout wins won't be great for Virtus Pro. 2 timeout losses, rather. And now OG have a chance to build. However, it is still a dangerous round. Virtus Pro know how to use just a few weapons. We often see the hero buys from them, the single AK or the single AWP. I would argue that it's more fun when you're on the CT side. But it's in very experienced hands, that AWP. Again, it's Kiko's time to suffer on Banana. More health than he normally has, however.
Oh, kick it up close. They weren't ready for him. Flashbang didn't quite blind him by the looks of things, or at least he got the kill either way. And now Alexi B has to back off from that position. So Valda goes down early. Still 2 players on the B site. I've got to say, James, seeing Sanji with a Glock in this round is kind of sad because he spent all his money, but I actually kind of like it because I feel like you're almost always going to get a gun from somewhere as long as your teammates trade. And look at what he's got himself, James. He's picked up the AK from the CT's body, and now this is looking like a much better round for VP. They still have 3 smokes left even, and the A site is so open right now.
Well, what can he do to try and buy some time for rotation? He has an incendiary which could head over towards short, but he hasn't got position. Smokes on either side of him, and OG won't move a muscle on B. Again, sometimes you get outmaneuvered. You need to save your military gear for the next time around. He will back off as well as Virtus Pro make it to 4. Strong performances from both teams on their own picks. But Inferno is where someone's going to have to concede eventually. Score's still close for now, though. And this is a pretty solid save for OG. 2 AK-47s, the sniper onto man 2, and the M4A4 for Alexi B. So they're not in too much trouble just yet, OG. But if they get wiped out, that'll be a different story.
It is actually very interesting how both of these teams play Inferno when they go down to a 4v5. So for Virtus Pro, if they go down to a 4v5, they're probably going to go aggressive on the CT side to try and get information, to try and understand what's happening so that they feel like they can get a right read on their opponents. Whereas I think for OG, they're more likely to just stack a site together, and then if they get it wrong, they're happy just saving into the next round. So I think that's a really different clash of styles you're going to see with these 2 teams on the CT sides.
OG back with a vengeance. Only 1 gun to buy. It's going to be a clash of horns in round 7. Flashbangs up mid, take angles away, but angles will be taken by OG for a time on Banana. But there'll be flames for that as well. Fast moving round out towards top mid. Issa knows the pace, and Yekindar is dead through that smoke. 3 smokes top mid, and Virtus Pro have control, but they are falling back. Look at this rotation from OG, almost abandoning the B bomb site completely. The beginning of this round was lightning fast. It's amazing only 1 player has been lost.
I like the idea for VP. OG have been stacking 3B at the start of every round, so going for a fast A could have been successful, but Issa gets the 1 kill through the smoke, and it makes VP a bit nervous. And the problem here for VP, James, is they don't have a single smoke left. They used all their smokes towards the A site to begin with. So if they push this B site, they're not going to be able to smoke CT. Issa is now rotating into that CT position as well. It just feels like it's going to be very difficult for VP to win this round unless they have some brilliant flashes or just some fantastic entry kills.
Buster's behind enemy lines. Is he ready, though? No, apparently he's not. LXB with the angle. Issa here as well. It's falling to pieces for Virtus Pro. Issa hard to kill at the moment. And then there was James. 1 versus 4. The bomb has been lost, and I think we know what time it is, Hawker.
Say the line, James. There you go. Understandably so in this round. Especially with 4.6k in the bank. He may have the chance to drop some guns for his teammates and keep them going with a bite. Yeah, these mind games are going to be so interesting between these 2 teams because OG are continuing to just 3-stack B at the starts of these rounds, but they're also showing that they have enough of a presence on A in those early rounds towards top mid just to slow VP down. And again, VP in the CIS region against Na'Vi, for example, the large majority of their rounds would just be take banana quickly and execute onto the B site. OG have been countering that, but now we're seeing VP try and counter the counter. I really think the mind games between these two teams on this map are going to be marvelous to watch. We have got a buy still for VP, thanks to the save from James. Sanji, the one man on a deagle, but everyone else on the server has a rifle for this round.
Oh, that's a meaty one. Not palatable for Yakinda by the tree. Another round where Virtus Pro have at least one pistol. Currently in the hands of Sanji. See the response to this from OG. Mantu's currently on long with the AWP. Again, late round, if the sniper's on short for the CT side, it can allow for very aggressive peaks and retakes of top mid, which is crucial for information. See James looking to take angles away on that short position. OG reforming now. Got to keep eyes on a potential wrap of the B bomb site. Issa elevated on double stack. More often you see this. Completely blind, however. Able to drop off, but he's dead. And again, the outmaneuvering may leave OG to save in this situation. 3 on 5, only with long. Rather you than me, OG.
Yakinda, the unyielding in this round, does not give up on those entry fights. He's always going to be running in, looking for entries. And just a simple pop flash play wins them the round. Issa and Mantu unable to really do much against that. It's just so fast from Yakinda with his entries onto the site. One good flashbang, and Yakinda makes the most of it.
OG in the third group here at Flashpoint 2. Lost to Virtus Pro. Sorry, I'm completely misreading that. They lost to Gen G.
Gen G, yes.
To send them into losers bracket. Then they beat Cloud9. Then got revenge on Gen G. And then beat Virtus Pro 2-1.
And then they basically did the same in their playoff run as well, where they went straight down to the lower bracket.
Yeah. Where they beat Dignitas 2-0, then Big Clan, then survived MIBR. I think most teams who beat them more survived them at this tournament. Then, of course, Fnatic. Now they find themselves in the grand final. Again, $250,000 of separation between first and second. It's going to hurt whoever is on the worst end of that. And it often hurts on Banana for both teams, all the grenades we've seen thrown. But it's in the apartments where Mantu gets tagged down to 52 HP. The pace changing from round to round. Kika looking to catch a CT off guard. But as they put a smoke up close to the site, they'll slowly slink away Virtus Pro.
OG consistently switching up these setups. We've seen rounds where they've gone 4B. At the start of this round, they went 4A, stacking it to begin with in case there was a fast play. Now, though, OG have rotated back to the B site at potentially the wrong time. Virtus Pro are probing top mid, looking for some information early. Nade comes back around from the OG side of things, but VP were just testing the waters, and apparently they didn't like how those waters were feeling. They're going back to the B side of things. Alexi B flashed in for information. Oh, and now OG rotate away at player from B. This is so interesting, watching the minimap alone, but Yakinda's going to run in first, and Mantu's found it.
Oh, he's collided with the smoke grenade, though, which takes their own AWP angle away, and that might encourage Virtus Pro in. If they make it to the pool, they've got the headshot angles. Mantu's looking for it, but it's an awkward fight. They've got to spray through the smoke as well, and indeed they've completely lost position due to that collision. Elevated bomb plant. Makes harder to spray from that coffin position, but Valde will still find it. I think he knew what it was. Of course, it's Valde to do that. And he buys time for his team, who are still on the A-bomb site. They haven't left just yet, and they may never leave. Seems uncertain as to what they will do. Very unfortunate for OG. Almost baited Virtus Pro into the peak, holding onto that smoke grenade, but then it was a catastrophe.
Those are the sorts of plays VP will be most comfortable with as well. Executing onto the B site, they will have done that time after time. So many times they do it against CIS competition. They definitely have those well drilled on towards the B bomb site. For Valde there, I am slightly surprised he tried to walk through the smoke. Obviously he knew the bomb was being planted, but Maybe he would have been better off trying to spray through. I guess he realized the rotate was so far away that he really wanted just to do anything to give his team a chance to win the round, but it was a really big risk, one that didn't work out for them this time. It has to be another save for OG, a 6-3 lead for Virtus.pro, and even though OG are keeping their economy strong, James, they're not winning that many rounds right now, and at some point, that's got to change.
Yeah, there is time for it to change. But sooner rather than later. Don't let Virtus.pro get too far away.
4B stack this time. Again, OG remaining dynamic with their setups, and it's going to be many nades on Banana.
It will. Virtus.pro will start further back. The problem is Kike will start to move forward, and more grenades may come. Look at the deployment. A re-up on the Molotov by the car as well. Stop the swing, potentially, at least, from an AWP. And we'll still have 3 players here for OG. Despite that exchange, there's good utility left for both these squads. We can see Alexi B looking to creep. He has been pop flashed for the swing on multiple occasions, actually. And I don't think he's found anyone on any of those occasions. The HE grenade behind the half wall is cool because if someone's there, they will hear the collision. So it is also not just damaging, but an information play. But OG is still hanging around with 3 towards the B bomb site for now. But as I say that, NBK seems to be rotating as they have no vision towards long.
He will have to plug that gap. It is very interesting that VP seem to just be sitting back on Banana, almost waiting for those flash peeks in from OG, almost waiting for those retake nades far back, realizing they need to dodge that utility. But it is going to end on the A site. 40 seconds remaining, and Mantu is the first point of contact. Good shot onto Kicker. Virtus.pro not having anyone ready for the trade, but they're popping out of the apartments. It's just blinded. He's a dead man. 2 kills onto the A site. MBK over at long can't help them out. It's just so many rounds where VP get the kills so quickly that OG can't do anything in response.
Save Simulator, $250,000 DLC edition. OG forced away once again. But what can you do? You lost position. Got to hold your hands up and say, all right, it's time to save. Don't want to be giving rounds away for free on ecos, so if they're able to, they will hold on to things to make sure the bomb explosion does not send that AWP anywhere where it could be retrieved. And it'll pose for a photo, like cheerleaders in the pit.
Lovely.
7th round for Virtus.pro. It's a very good T-side so far. Very enjoyable rounds as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's clearly a battle of the minds right now. I think you can see that. This is a game where you could honestly just look at the minimap and watch it as almost like a chess game. It's so intriguing to see what both of these guys are thinking up on both sides of things. I want to see some aggression from OG, I think. At this point, they are losing the information game, it feels like right now. Maybe it is time to even go for a peek down mid or something to try and get you the advantage, because the passive play just doesn't seem to be working right now, James. They're losing the key fights, and they're not really getting a chance to actually compete for the rounds. So I think maybe some aggression could be the response. We'll see if they agree with me, though. They've currently got these 3 players stacked towards B once again. And Kicker, as always, that first man up Banana, may take some nade damage. Actually, he won't. OG have already used their nades.
They're lining up 1 for 1, though. It's Alexi B at the back with the MP9 who gets the kill. That's been heard. Sanji surely knows, oh, this is going to be painful, isn't it? It's going to be very painful indeed. Surely the spray through the smoke has a chance, at least at Mantu. He's got to run for his life because they are coming. He is in so much trouble. Buster will be enough, and again, the round's over. That's it. That's a wrap. They've got to stop this. They've got to find a way to stop this, OG. Not looking easy right now. Virtus.pro with a lot of momentum. The final map, 500k for first place. 500k!
Absolutely absurd, isn't it? That it comes down to one map for that amount of money. But right now, VP are the ones that are living up to the pressure. And in case you're wondering why we're seeing OG just give up on so many of these rounds, in case you're a newer viewer, the retakes on Inferno are incredibly difficult. Even if you have a 3v3, for example, the retakes are very, very difficult on this map unless you have the nades and unless you have players in position. So if anything, this is just VP doing an excellent job at winning the early fights. If you can win the early fights on the T side of this map, you are going to be set for success. And that is what VP are so good at. That is what they've been so effective at so far in this game. Even in that round where OG tried to switch it up with some aggression, you could see that VP were one step ahead of it. They were sitting back. They were aware that that boost was about to come in. And something has got to change here for OG. They are currently 8-3 down. This is a slightly T-sided map right now, but 8 rounds already for VP, and it's looking likely they're going to get more if they keep playing like this.
Issa perhaps looking to take matters into his own hands. He has the worst weapon of the potential duel, however. And Issa may wait for Yekindar to hop into the apartments before he does anything.
I would love to have stats on how much utility damage Kickert takes.
Did you see those sound cues? Sanji was jumping around, maybe suggesting he was leaving, but it was very deliberate. It was very deliberate indeed. Maybe a false sense of security, and they've wiped them out in apartments. And again, it just collapses. Spidey sense for Virtus Pro is on overdrive here on Inferno.
Especially considering that Desk has given Alexi B so much credit for his calling on this map, and VP are outmaneuvering OG right now. Only one man on the B-bomb site. It's Mantu, who has to have a monumental hold, and he will not be allowed anything. Kickert with another entry kill. Sanji should be hunted down, but he doesn't care. He's got the headshot. Everything is going right for VP right now. Maybe they're starting to smell that money, James, because they've got a 9-3 lead, and it doesn't look competitive right now.
We got that NFL spider cam view of that kill onto Mantu through the smoke. And indeed, it feels like, I mean, if you bear in mind what is on the table for both these teams, 500k for first place, this is where you're going to pull out all your strats, all your best everything you save for the majors and so on, which we don't have any this year. This is where it's going to come out.
Sanji thought he was playing Mario for a second there.
Or Danger Zone.
Or Danger Zone, sure.
Oh,
Kindar's too quick. On 22 health, he still gets the kill. OG's money is borderline. A couple of players have the cash. Yeah, on the edge of the smoke. Kickert always saw him. Sanji, first bullet accuracy is incredibly good for him. And wow, this is the first timeout taken by OG, James. That is a surprise to me.
this has been hard. This has been a real struggle. All the rounds for OG have been won by timeout. But Virtus Pro, I suppose, had an unfortunate series of events and just had to give it up. Multiple low health players and such. Very unusual game of Inferno in that respect. So many detonations from Virtus Pro. OG just lose everyone on a bomb site and they're so far away they can't help. But again, there's still time to do something, as likely or unlikely as it may feel. And who knows, maybe this is the round. A bunch of pistols, a lot of smoke grenades, and one M4A4. Seen plenty of these rounds won already by OG, be it this series or otherwise. Or it is a Sunday roast after all. Here comes the meat and potatoes. Maybe the gravy's on the way. In fact, the last grenade is on Issa, and he's in the pit, so perhaps that'll have to wait. Good start, though. But can they follow up on that with these pistols?
Lovely response from Virtus Pro. Looks like they've realized the weak point after hearing 3 nades on Banana. A-long is always likely the position open, but MBK has something to say about that. Yakindar caught in the back. Now VP go back towards B, though, and again, they're always seeming to just be ready for what OG are doing. This time, though, OG counter-rotate back towards B, and it looks like a good call for them. They're going to have players in position. They're going to have the chance for the hold. Even if they have the weaker weapons, they've got plenty of players in position because of that aggression in towards the apartments. It is now 4 players rotated over to B. This is OG's best chance yet to finally get another round.
There's only one Molotov for Virtus Pro. There's only one Molotov. Their area control is going to be limited. This may play in the favor of OG. Playing off of the Anarchy. Some flashbangs, some grenades now as they start to swing. Force back those Alexi B. They're all baiting for Valde. What is a trigger discipline like? Instantly traded by Jane. There's one more by Coffin though, and it's still a man advantage for OG. Kika now 16 seconds on the clock, and he's out of there. Does not want to give up too many weapons. However, there's still a flank from OG here with NBK, and the AWP will be taken as well. As I said, it's often a round like this, and it will be this time for OG. They could still get 6 rounds in this half, and who knows if that'll be enough.
I think Kicker may be better off throwing the AWP out of the map there. Like, VP's money is so good. Saving doesn't really do anything for you, but instead now, OG get to save themselves a sniper, which could be very nice to have. Good aggression from OG as well. Getting aggressive on the A side of the map, getting the information they need. They stack the right site, and that's gotta feel good for them. Finally breaking that 5-round win streak of VP, and that is a money nade.
That is quite the chunk. Jane will have to be careful. Man, this has been an amazing T side from Virtus Pro so far. Well, very decisive now. They know what they want to do. An immediate take of top mid. Mantu smoked off, but he'll get a kill for it. Oh my god, he's gone through! That's absolutely crazy. I'm sure there was flashbang support, but it hasn't worked out because Buster is busting all over OG. Issa now in the pit, so much to do. He's got plays on the high ground as well. He's seen the Molotov, but Buster will finish him off with the AWP, and they just fall like dominoes. That leaves Valdez to try and clutch, eating all kinds of grenades, flashbang, smokes, everything.
They're so low, man. He might have a chance, you know. If he puts these nades in the right place, he could win this. I don't know if he knows that, though. Oh, man.
You hate to see it.
It's still obviously going to be very hard, even if he knew they were low, to actually clear out all these angles and to not fall into the crossfires. But you just want to see them get something, because right now VP are dominating. And look, credit to VP. These entry kills have been absurd. Every round, those kills from Buster are so well taken. I think it really has come down to these entry fights. The desk was saying it was similar on Train. Every time it felt like VP were just winning the opening duels. And on a map like Inferno, if you can win those first fights with how hard the retakes are, it is definitely a recipe for success. Buster's going to go up with the bomb because he doesn't care. They are hella rich on the VP side heading into the last round of the half.
If OG are to do this, it's going to be the hard way. A noble effort from Mantu. They made a play, OG. They had to do something. They were surrounded. They were being split by the likes of Virtus Pro. And his wig was split for his efforts at the end of that one. But they can buy on this one regardless, OG. The last round of the first half, and what a half it's been from Virtus Pro. More grenades. Look at the damage on Alexi B. He sees no one in that round and he's dead.
Oh boy, even the utility working wonders for VP now. Valda alone towards B, has to make sure he doesn't give anything away, and Mantu getting aggressive. That's more of what I want to be seeing. He gets a pick down mid, brings it back to a 4v4. Still no response on the rotate from OG, but that's about to change, and it's Mantu who will start coming over to the B side of the map. VP, though, still remaining spread into this default stance. They've got over a minute left on the clock. MBK may want to go aggressive, may want to get some information, but I'm not sure this is the right time for it.
Whole debate. Not deliberate, but works anyway. Kika probably there just in case. Well, there's still something to be done here for OG. Issa has to pray they're going to the B bomb site, though. There'll be no saving at the end of this round. Heading towards top mid as Virtus Pro bide their time, waiting for the balcony smoke to go. Sanji lining up a balcony pop. First with a smoke grenade though. Here comes the flash. Oh my god, they're just so ready. They're so ready. Look at the burst from Sanji, so confident. No more bullets required.
This is so sick from VP, man. One of our qualifier teams are outclassing OG in the grand final. They've beaten some of the best that Europe have to offer, and even though OG have to go for this retake, their chances are probably less than 1% at winning this round. Valder and Mantu will give it a go, but they are going to have to do something miraculous to win this.
Smoke on the bomb from OG. Desperation plays on the way. Valde's the only man with a defuse kit. He's dead, and so is Mantu. But are the chances for OG to turn things around? That's the end of the half. It's a complete wipeout almost in favor of Virtus Pro. Do OG have anything left in this final? Find out after the break.
OG have fought so hard to get to this point in the tournament. They lost their opening group game and they bounced back. They lost their first playoff game and they bounced back through the lower bracket, and they've got to bounce back one more time, James. They are 11-4 down right now. Let's see if there's anything left in the tank for OG.
The question is simple. Do you want to be a pony on a farm or a glorious unicorn atop of a mountain? Virtus Pro are 5 rounds away from the latter. Unicorn worth $500,000. If Fabergé made unicorns, it would be first place at Flashpoint 2. A boost. There are HE grenades, and I suppose they'll go towards coffins, as this is the position. There they go. Oh, no. For a boost, in fact. Well, normally they go towards coffins, but maybe for a buy round. And Yekindar, he's got somewhere to be, man. He wants to spend the money already.
Not wasting any time, is he? Valda's up close. Yekindar doesn't clear it, but there are many more players coming up into Banana. Valda plays anti-flash, but the jump round the corner is beautiful. It takes Valda's vision away from him, and Kirkut comes in with a quick double kill. VP come in with a quick retake. That was looking so unbelievably good for OG until it wasn't. Yekindar pushing down mid gets them all the information they need, and everything that VP do turns to gold right now.
Starting to wonder if this is going to be a shutout game of Inferno. Virtus Pro, they didn't come here to play. They came here to destroy.
I didn't realize Buster got one by spamming through the CT smoke as well.
Just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
OG's hand is forced onto the force buy button. Virtus Pro are just too close. And if this doesn't work for OG, Oh man, this is going to be a very stressful but potentially brief half of Counter-Strike for them. Again, failure here is a difference of $250,000.
And that's not Counter-Strike dollars, by the way. That is real dollars. Real life dollars, James.
Thanks for that one, Hawker.
Nice kill from Kicker in the pit. Oh, he gets the wall bang, but finally, something going well for OG. They get onto the A-bomb site. They've got a 3v2, and James is in no man's land. Too many players surrounding him. Can Buster keep his team on top? He's got a 1v3 to play out, coming in towards the apartments, but I don't really think this is going to be a round they win. It looks like OG have done enough to win this all-important round, and maybe there's life in this game yet.
Finally, something to celebrate. But I'm not counting my chickens just yet. I want to see a consecutive round one by OG at the very least. Will Buster survive? NBK's got two ways to look. Crouch pick's good enough. Despite the increased armor penetration of the Galil, he'll switch out to the M4. Comfort is a thing, of course. OG make it to 5. So, Hawker just wanted you to know that this tournament is in fact for real money, as opposed to Monopoly money.
I just thought people might not believe it because it's so much money, James.
The difference in prize money is a Meteorite GMT Rolex watch for every player of the losing team. A Meteorite dial. You could have a dial on your watch that came from space.
Jeez.
All 5 of them. Anyway.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. OG take position. They have Banana. Now, Virtus Pro have not fully invested into this round. They want to make it hurt, you know? But they've kept something in the bank. I feel like they've just been sandbagging this entire time until the final. Utterly destroying in this first half. Now things are in the hands of OG. Specifically rifles. AK-47s. Only 2 in this round. But versus pistols, that should be enough.
Molly's into top mid. Smoke to follow for OG. Just putting some pressure on this side of the map. They're not committing to anything yet. There is still 1 smoke left on VP. Yakindar has that. That could really help delay things on this A side of the map if the play were to come through from the OG side. And the European squad are starting to push up A long as well. They're going to go back to B. They've left the time low, but it doesn't matter because this is just such a good read, such a good call. They're going to walk into a wide open bomb site. And if you're an OG fan right now, you'll be very thankful for that. There's no need to sweat in this round.
Bonk. Well, that bomb's going to get planted. Virtus Pro have not much to lose. I wonder what they'll do here. I can't imagine they'll try and go for it because that would be somewhat suicidal. I suppose they'll play for exits and again, just try and get OG to die, which they've been good at thanks to Virtus Pro in this game. They've been moving towards half the score of Virtus Pro. Again, this is the final map of the grand final of Flashpoint 2. And what a year it's been. I'm sure the guys on the, well, they're not on the desk anymore. The other guys in their bedrooms will go cover that in more detail. From Flashpoint 1 to Flashpoint 2. It's been a fast-changing environment. And OG will look to change their fortune with these future rounds again. They've got much... I almost fell out of my chair again. They've got much catching up to do. 6 rounds behind a very dangerous-looking Virtus Pro, whose money isn't just made right just yet.
Yeah, VP being very conservative in these rounds. They saved a bit of money in the last one. They're going to do the same here. Really not investing too much into this round because they are confident that with this lead, as long as they get gun rounds, they think they can close this out. That's what they're saying right now. Valda getting a kill on the edge of the smoke. According to the kill feed, it wasn't through the smoke. But it is an opening kill nonetheless. Yakindar recovers the M4, but he doesn't have armor to work with it. So not going to be as easy for him to use it. And because of that, VP will just decide to stack a site. Again, worst case scenario, Yakindar can just save that M4. That's not too bad for them. The other players can maybe go for some exit kills. But we'll see if OG do commit to this B site, because they aren't pushing anything right now. Alright, smoke into coffins. I think they will be going B.
I'm kind of tense. I'm kind of nervous because I feel like the business end of this entire tournament is about to begin in the next rounds, and I don't know what's going to happen. And that's exciting.
Absolutely.
We'll have to wait a few seconds first, however. But I mean, imagine being the players, just waiting for this bomb to tick, understanding the gravity of the situation which is about to be upon them in the next round, especially in the hands of OG. They're 5 rounds. They will be 5 rounds behind, and that can quickly change. Bearing in mind, half of those are buy rounds for Virtus Pro. Half may be dangerous with pistols, but if you focus on the buy rounds as opposed to the total score, in terms of sports psychology, it may be more digestible for OG as they make it to 7 to the 12 of Virtus Pro.
In comes the investment from VP. James gets an AWP with Kevlar. Everyone else should be getting almost full utility, and that will help them in some of those early fights. Buster does have to go down to a FAMAS to get those full nades, but VP love to put a bunch of nades down Banana early and really try and push for that position. This is where you're going to see the difference in approach between these two teams. It's quite likely we'll see some aggression at some point in this round from Virtus Pro as they look for info, and James already doing just that. He peeks down mid, some nades going down towards this Banana position as well. Deep smoke coming through for Virtus Pro. We'll see if they push behind it though, because OG are already in position. Buster has to be very careful here. He's got his knife out, he's blinded, and he's going to get the hell out of there.
I wonder if his teammate told him, you're not around the corner just yet, allowing him to reposition while blind there. Very exposed. James forced off the angle. I'm sure that was heard. Really got to try and avoid him here. I can't imagine they're committing just yet with 3 of the 5 players only here on Banana. Clearing the sandbags. Oh, he's creeping, isn't he, James? But so are OG, the wide swing. But who's going to have the ultimate trade frag? There's a pop flash for Yakindar and lining up for him. Instant double headshots and the bomb. Thank you. NBK, oh, he's hit the utility as well. Trying to make a play on A, but again, they don't even have the bomb just yet. How on earth has that happened? Kikert's below him.
He's going to get away as well. Oh, Kicker doesn't arrive in time, and now NBK might be calling that A is clear. Here comes Kicker, though. He eventually makes up for it. It's all on Issa, 29 seconds, and I don't see him winning this one. Even if he goes back to this A bomb site, the rotator's already arrived. Buster's going to be a second man on this site. What can Issa do here? 15 seconds. He's got to clear out 2 different angles. Does he even expect there to be 2 players on this A-bomb site? I doubt it. He mollies out the pit. That's 1 less angle to deal with, but there's 6 seconds, man. 6 seconds left. It's not going to matter either way because Buster's holding the angle, and there's that aggression I was talking about, James. VP are not going to sit back and let OG set up their plays. They're going to flash Yakindar in, and he is going to mess you up.
Virtus Pro are 3 rounds away from $500,000. That's a lot of zeros. OG, however, they have the money to buy. They've got 5 AKs out. Don't always need an AWP on the T side of Inferno. Same can be said for Mirage. AWP would be most effective post-plant, really. So different variation to the grenades we saw in the first half. Combo of high explosive as Yakindar looks for the headshot angle on the logs, and he'll find what he's looking for. More spray as well. OG don't have much to show from this exchange. Oh no. Dear, where's the gun gone?
Oh no!
Well, that's awkward, isn't it? There we go.
Whew. Again, the aggression that we were talking about. Yakindar loves to be able to spam through those smokes with the M4A1S. Makes it so that it's much more difficult for the opponents to spam you back. And it's working for VP right now. They're getting the banana control they want. OG still have plenty of nades that could retake banana, though. If they molly these close angles or flash themselves in, that could be very effective. Even if they molly top banana, Buster wouldn't be able to help his teammate, and now he's blinded. Can Yakindar go nuclear in this position, though? He's got an AK. He's got the chance for multiple headshots, but Issa clears the corner. Insta-kill, and now VP have to react.
Sanji's by the well. He can throw a flash for his teammate to peek with, but he's closing the distance, getting even closer. Bino's coffins, he will be soon. Buster waiting for the molly to come his way. Sanji's here now with instant headshot onto LXCB, and down goes Issa. Is there anything left here for OG? 2 versus 4. We've got MBK flanking by Speedway. Mantu's in a lot of trouble. He's in the pool with the bomb, playing headshot angles, throwing all kinds of crap towards New Box, running distraction. MBK could find Su here, but not before his teammates lost. The transfer is ready, but there's 12 seconds to win this round. He's got to go for elimination. Surely there's no time to plant the bomb. We got a heat and potty set up at the back of the site, the crossfire and the smoke as well. He can't find it, and Virtus Pro are on 14 rounds.
And there you see the upside of the way that VP play these rounds. Yakindar may die on banana, but he gets them a lot of early information to allow time for the rotation towards B, and all the VP players end up getting there in time. Even though MBK starts flanking, it's just too late in the round. He's left in a 1v2 with, 10 seconds left on the clock? There was no real way for him to win that unless he got both of those kills, and he wasn't able to do so. Second timeout taken by OG. They haven't really been using their pauses in this game, but now that they're 14-7 down, they realize that something has got to change. They've got to come up with something special here to come back.
It's a real shame we don't have the webcams due to the current situation. I feel like just the stories that the faces will paint on both teams now, the stress for OG, the confidence and joy for Virtus Pro, the way things are going at present, would be quite compelling. But a Counter-Strike certainly is an amazing game of CS on Inferno from Virtus Pro so far. But again, it's not over. OG got very strong players on their side, one of which has just been lost, unfortunately for them, because Yakindar has been a problem for Valde to deal with. 5 versus 4 for Virtus Pro, currently untouched in round 22.
Yakindar just keeps getting away with those early pushes, and the fallback plan from OG is to push A, where there are 4 CTs ready and waiting. Kicker gets the first kill, make it a second. Finally, the trades come back round, but Mantu's alone, and he's turned it into a 1v1. Yakindar rotating over from B, but Mantu wants to cut him off. He's getting aggressive, he's getting proactive, but Yakindar's realized the bomb hasn't been planted yet, so he's going to sit back, and Yakindar knows he's got him dead to rights. Yakindar outpositions Mantu and gives VP one more round and puts them 1 away from victory.
Virtus Pro on the cusp of something incredible. Match point, and plenty of them here at Flashpoint 2 versus OG. They don't have the money to go for a full buy. They've got to buy what they can. A lot of Tech 9s, a Galil for Issa. That's the leading weapon in this round for OG. They got some rounds early. Can they get them again? James, oh, that's just a way to put his stamp on maybe the last round. He's still alive as well, misses the flick though. And Buster, he's on the site. Well, they checked for him. Did they see him earlier with the MP9?
No scope, wow.
Maybe there's time for OG left. Maybe there is. Sanji trying to take position. That won't happen either. Mantu raging across the B bomb site, leaving Kicker with not much to do. The way this round started, just when you thought it was over, this has broken the money for Virtus Pro. They've got nothing left.
My heart sank when I saw those first 2 kills, but OG had something else in mind as they move into that B-bomb site. Would definitely love a replay of that no-scope from Mantu up close. Obviously, he was able to get into basically shotgun range, it seemed like, but still, a lot of pressure on those kills from Mantu, and he got those 2 vital frags to give OG another round. An 8th on the board, and as James so rightly pointed out, VP's money is awful. Let's have a look at these replays. Valde flying around the corner. Oh, it's just a no-scope pre-fire from Mantu, and then the second shot just about gets it through the wall. An all-important round from Mantu, but we're going to need to see more where that came from. Perhaps some of the other OG players are going to have to pull some magic out of the hat as well. But in this round, Virtus.pro not even investing that much into it. They only really have the one saved M4 for Kicker, so this should be a round where OG have the heavy advantage, just in terms of weaponry.
So many tests for OG. Every round is dangerous. It does not have to be pretty for Virtus.pro. They'll be perfectly happy to win it in a round such as this. One M4 and a bunch of pistols. They have the smoke grenades with which to try and invite error from OG, who have taken Banana quickly. Nice pre-fire above the coffins. Buster just hiding for now. He has the worst weapon on the server at present, just the honest USPS.
It's so nice that OG showed they can compete for the banana control in that last round as well, because I think that had been a big problem for them in the previous rounds. The fact that they fight back and get onto the B site, definitely a good sign going forwards if they want this comeback. They could have some issues here though. Oh, but Kicker gets aggressive and gets caught by MBK. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, well, it really was. Well, some moments of positivity for OG. Oh my god. Okay, everything's fine. If you got the third one there, I was starting to panic. Well then, Buster is in a 1 versus 3 with the USP. They know where he is now. So OG looks likely to make it to a 9th round. But man, they are walking through a field of mines to make it to overtime. Helmet's not going to save them.
Money's still not there for Virtus.pro. Has to be another save. And their loss bonus isn't massive, so there won't be much of an investment. Obviously understandable that Kicker tries to get aggressive with the M4. If he pushes into the apartments especially, that can be such a powerful position to just rain down fire from above. If you can clear out the apartments to begin with, it cuts down on the angles your teammates have to worry about as well. It could have been a really nice play. So you see why Kicker does that, but MBK very well prepared for it. And there isn't too much of an investment in this round from VP either. Just a couple of upgraded pistols. They are focusing more on their own economy for this next gun round.
OG being very careful. It is possible to be too careful though, when the clock is taken into consideration. Oh boy. Now, what does Sanji choose to do? He won't even try and pick up the rifle. He doesn't know what's around the corner. Virtus.pro playing for the rounds here. Not just for damage. But he will soon realize that there's nobody home. Well, there's an AK-47 for them to take into the next round. With no possession of coffins and such, I wouldn't expect a full rotation. Yukinda will be given the AK as Sanji looks for more with the Desert Eagle.
Bomb has been planted.
So Buster's made his way into the ruins. And again, if they can just make it expensive for OG, maybe they miss a Molotov here or there, things may become easier on Banana in the buy round.
Yeah, I think even just saving that AK could make a really nice difference, just to make sure everyone has full nades, because you can see how reliant VP are on their early utility to get that banana control. They're really trying to prepare themselves for those fights by putting a bunch of nades down. So even just saving an AK and having Yukinda with that AK on Banana, that could be a big deal. With some of the fights he's been taking early, having an AK would be so valuable for him. Sanji's going to run in, try and do some damage at the end, as you were talking about. Oh, how does he not get that kill? Unfortunate that the shots don't connect, but it doesn't matter too much. We've got the gun rounds back on the board. Who will get the luxury of the AK-47 on the VP side? It looks like it's Buster who will be getting it right now, but more importantly, VP's nades are decent, and they've finally got another full buy on the board. This is where it starts to get scary, James. 15-10, this is where VP want to be closing it out before it starts to get really close.
James in the apartment of the AWP. Oh, there's a helmet scene, but no connection. I wonder if that's frustrating. Forced away now with the Molotov. The usual exchange on Banana. James still in the apartment. Kika, oh. a scary game. Double peek potentially coming in. Oh, the flashbang's eaten by James as he wants the peek. But there's no connection. OG have forced the CTs back somewhat. There's no one top mid now. As I mentioned before, if the AWP's on short, we can often see a late resurgence. James could go either way at the moment. We can see him around the A bomb site. He's heading back towards short, so bear that in mind. And with that confident position, VP will put a third man on B.
Sanji is that man moving between the bomb sites right now, but for the time being, he's found a home on B. Flashbang blinds him. Mantu is the man just looking for a pick right now. Straight up peeking towards the B site. But OG won't be committing off the back of it. 40 seconds remaining. They're going back to A. This is the right read from Alexi B. There are only 2 CTs here, but one of them is Jame with that AWP. They've got to make sure they shut him down.
Could take one shot and hop back to the site. That's what he likes to do. He'll thrive in the chaos afterwards. That's the bomb spotted, but he's missed his shot. And a second one, nerfs maybe. Kika caught with a grenade in his hand, but Jame will save him. How on earth is this happening? Jame on the site, and now Kika's delivering for a time, but it's Mantu's turn with the AWP. Post plant when the sniper is crucial. Valde with a big headshot in the boiler. Rare misses from Jame, and with so much money on the line, you have to wonder if he's nervous. It's Virtus Pro's turn on the save simulator. They've taken the controls, and into the B bomb site they go again.
I would love to hear this on LAN right now. I'm sure OG would have some words to say after hearing Jay miss some shots. 15-11 it will be. And OG honestly looked a little hesitant themselves to begin with. They were running down the clock. There was 20 seconds left before they hit the site. There's definitely a world in which VP lands some shots and cause enough chaos to win that round. But it's not a world we're living in. Jay misses his opportunity. And then as soon as Sanji goes down, the retake is impossible. I think this is going to be a nervy end to this game, James. It's 4 rounds now between these 2 teams. We're already seeing some missed shots. We're already seeing some scary moments for both of these sides. They know what's on the line. They've been playing for weeks to get to this point, and it's all going to come down to a few rounds.
It's getting closer.
So Buster fully invested into dropping that AWP for Jane, but the other players aren't fully buying up. Worth noting.
Yeah, this is the Virtus Pro Abacus at work. Got a little utility to create some space maybe for James to work with. The transfer through the door won't make enough of a connection. Oh boy, that's a different one though from Sanji. Saying hello with the Desert Eagle. The man knows his angles. A hard worker as well.
Imagine if that's what wins them the round. Imagine if later on MBK being on 40 health is a difference maker.
Jane playing anti-flash boosted up while Yakindar is the bait. That is something special. And OG, if it's late round and they're making a play, they'll like to put this flashbang out. Oh, they're not going to be ready for this. There's no way. Oh, Mantu. Okay, he's realized what's going on. He's going down to do the flashbang, the jump throw from the stairs. Beautiful stuff. Great awareness. Great carefulness from Mantu. That thwarts Virtus Pro. Maybe expecting a third man to be pulled over. They're heading straight back towards the A bomb site. But look at this rotation from Virtus Pro.
What?
They know exactly what's happening.
This is unreal. 5-man rotation to this A site. This could work wonders for VP. It's such a ballsy call, but it could win them the game. 34 seconds remaining. MBK gets the first kill. Players blind on the site. There's a smoke up. It's complete chaos. It's complete anarchy, but Issa gets another entry, as does MBK. They're doing it. OG are overcoming the 5-man stack, and this game keeps on going.
My God. Something OG like to do late round if they're making an A play, sometimes they'll have 2 guys go to Banana if they know that they haven't completely taken control of Banana, and they'll throw some utility sometimes, that's enough. Just to force the CTs away to try and invite that third or second man to rotate from A back towards the B bomb site to weaken the A defenses. And perhaps that was a read from Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro probably perceived OG to think they'd have utility to drop top Banana to put them into an awkward time. Hence that rotation. VP on that full buy now. Sanji on the MP9. It is a full buy as far as VP are concerned. Maybe light on grenades. OG have 3 more tests to take this to overtime.
Another hefty rotation from Virtus Pro. 4 CTs on the A side of the map as it stands. It's got to be heartbreaking for VP when you stack the right site with 5 players and you can barely get a kill. But they have to put that behind them. 2 players now back on the B site for Virtus Pro. OG probably just pressuring Banana. We've seen this in a lot of rounds. OG just tried to take the top Banana control. That limits the information for VP, and then VP have to play a bit more of a guessing game. The problem is, in the last round they guessed correctly. In this one, I think they might have guessed wrong. 4 players rotate to B for Virtus Pro, but it's only Jame on A.
It's never only if it's Jame with an AWP, though. He's creating some space for himself, trying to delay them. In case it was a balcony burst, that smoke grenade is there. Trying to bait the shot now is Isa. He's going to be in trouble this time. James doesn't miss. Still looking towards the balcony. Kikut's made his way towards library, but the surround is here. Using a box in the middle for some cover. Kikut through the smoke. Perfect timing. And now James got cover from the smoke on the site itself. 14 seconds to plant this bomb. The cavalry's on the way. Looking to trample on OG. This could be the last round. The trades continue. That bomb has to get planted, though. Mantu still going for the frags. 5 seconds. It's over. It's all over unless Buster can be found. Running away to victory. 500k for Virtus Pro. They take Flashpoint too.
They've done it, James. The rotation works out. James this time lands the shot that they needed. Oh my god, it's Virtus Pro who made it through the qualifier, who win the whole damn thing.
That was a great game of Inferno. Virtus Pro kept all their heavy strats for when